And I hope you liked that little intro, which were some of the photos of my trip to the National Gallery, and a little trip to Geelong the other day with Huss. And I have marked all of those photos as I've gone. Anyway, in this episode, I wanted to just share a couple of things I've been doing behind the scenes and a book that I've been using. So, firstly, I had a whole heap of spare bits of paper of, it's just a rough book. I mean, I've got room to put another signature or two in if I want to, but spare bits of this watercolour printing paper. So I just folded them in half. It's designed really to be a sort of a light, rough sketchbook to just take out and about. However, I've ended up doing a bit more word collaging, which I've been enjoying. I've been cutting up an old book and getting funny little words and little sentences that are, cute. And then I also been doing classes with Tamara Laporte, where every year she does her Life Taster week, and then it rolls on into next year's Life Taster sessions. So this was one of the classes with Ulela from Puerto Rico, Spain, not sure. Sorry, Ulela. Anyway, her something chinchilla or oh my goodness, I forget I even spoke. I'll just put it in the bit below. My brain, honestly. Anyway, so I've just used a 3-hole pamphlet stitch. I love the cover. I think it's quite cute, so I may not change it, but I do think something has to happen here to seal it, so I might end up putting one of my printables along there or something. Anyway, it's just designed to be a quick little cute sketchy book. It's old paper that's rubbed out pencil, it doesn't matter. What I did at the start was I've started to clear gesso and then work on the pages and then seal them. So that's one little behind the scenes project I've been having fun with. This is the book of the week or fortnight. It's more like a fortnight at the moment. 100 Flowers to Knit or Crochet. And it's spring here in Melbourne, so it's very flowery, and these are all just absolutely beautiful. And it's just full of lots of different types of things. But I actually was quite fascinated by carrots and peas. So that looks knitted to me. But I've been making a couple of little flowers, and I found it quite interesting because it's got like a few ideas, like chainring, slip ring, slip knot, and I got into it and it had all these, like, let me find one of the, hang on, that's knitting, get a crochet. It'd have something like 2TR, and I went, yes, I know that's treble, but it doesn't actually have how to do the stitches. It's just, so yeah, I had to look it up on the internet. So I think there's a little bit of a flaw in this book in terms of having, you don't have it right there in front of you to look at. You have to go backwards and forwards with something else, or print out, or another stitches book or something like that. But anyway, it inspired me, and I've really found that what I do, I've been going through, as you know, my garage and sorting out, and I found my bag of woolen knitting stuff and crochet hooks. But of course, I don't know, there's no bits of paper around them, so I don't know what ply they are. I don't know whether that particular crochet hook works with that ply. So I've just been having fun and not really making these flowers, but making some sort of abstract version of them, which is okay. I don't mind. I'd like to actually try to get in a few that look relatively like these before I take the book back. But anyway, it's got lots of, like, so many bits and pieces, and I just wanted to show you my update on my second flower magic journal. So this is by Leslie Stanfield. And my second flowers magic journal, which I showed I think last time. I've got the button on and the tie, and I've got the elastics, but it's gotten so full I don't even think I'll be putting a second one in. So the update is some of my little crochet flowers, looks more like a medallion this one, but doesn't matter, are in the book. So I'm going to do a quick flip through so you can see where I'm up to. And it really is very much a playbook. Not a lot of writing in it in terms of journaling, but I've still been using the cutout words to just make little comments as I go. What I've also been doing is printing these out, and then well, I've been scanning in my works. So say like a page like that, I might scan in and then shrink it and putting 4 up on the page. So I've got smaller versions of it. But you've seen a lot of this, I think, but why not look again? Cute. So I've sort of ended up starting to put some of my Tamara's class stuff in as well. And I'll finish something and then I'll come back and add a whole heap more stuff. So it's constantly evolving and changing, and it's all play. You know, this was ink, seeing how they went. I found that a normal ink soaked into the page really quickly if I didn't have any gesso, clear gesso or anything on. So then it left the marks of where it fell and soaked in, and then I could smear some more around, but it was quite an effective, well, you know, they're all just different effects, aren't they? So I've ended up putting a whole heap of butterflies and little birds through it. Still got my little rabbits there, cute. And just these little sort of blankish pages, just starting to put colour backgrounds and add Posca pens and words in there. So here's another one of my birds. Here's another not quite right flower, almost a pansy, but not quite. And some of these are like little tagged. They hold little tags, they're little flips. And I just, look, honestly, I just love it. The book I've been using as my glue book has just been so much fun to, when the glue's dried on the page, cut out little phrases. So thought you said there would be no one here for miles around. And I just find them out of context. I love them. And there's a Renaissance girl. Doodling, even when it's just a page like this, you can get in some doodling on it. I found a pile of old, back in the very early days of my YouTube, I'd made a whole heap of colour dyed with inks doilies, and I've got a pile of them sitting there. They're a little bit ripped. They didn't come out as perfect. Who wants them to be perfect? But perfect in a way as they could have been. Look, my dress matches. So I've just been sort of cutting off the edge because, you know, the glue all goes through the doilies, and just putting down bits here and there. I found an old printable of mine, and I have printed it out in the colour that I did it in, that I made it, colour edited it, and ended up with a blue version. So I've got that throughout the book. Some of these printables are from Francesca or from Michelle at Raspberry Blue Sky. And, you know, it's just great fun, really. So this stuff's still got blank pages. I've been starting to work on collages on these insides, collaging above and below and colouring in the picture, which is from Beatrix Potter. So collages ready to be painted over. So there's still quite a bit of room. I've still got like space for things. This has actually got some clear gesso on, so it's ready for some painting. I'm just enjoying it so much. So part of putting the flowers in, which is what I was originally talking about, I've been putting a bit of this old antique French under the chair stuff that I got off Lisa Matic, which is really great. Lots of my printables, and then taking a scan of the page and then making a new printable. So it's giving me endless amounts of printables, which is great. And then that gives me endless amount of ideas for playing with colour, adding flowers, adding butterflies, adding birds. After all, it's Flowers Journal. I love this. They're carpeted in spring with snowdrops and later primroses and bluebells. So just having fun. Another doily. So I've got to get some tags in there. Another Eulela birdie. I love this one. Wait till she tries. I just love that quote. So my pink and purple page. Another bit of doily. So still plenty to go, but for the most part, just these little snippet things that I was crocheting into flowers. This one didn't really. It was. This one was interesting because I have this thread, which is just gorgeous. I have this thread, which is just gorgeous. And then I put in to help a little bit of this. It's almost like a Payne's grey wool. But these little bits like that just poke out, and I loved it. And even though it doesn't look like a flower, it certainly looks like a little snippet or something. And I've just been stapling them on, a little poppet. So that was my little foray with the flower, the not really looking like flower crochet this week. Okay, so yeah, I'm just like playing with inks, playing with colour backgrounds. Another thing I love is when you get, I'll show you, in Australia, a lot of our hand towels have got this beautiful spiral pattern on. So if you put a bit down on some wet paint and pull it up, it leaves marks. I love it. And it's very indigenous, very spiral. So this is a bit of the browner colour before I altered it to a blue from the Bobbsey twins, and it's like a snippet roll that I've sewn, paper snippet roll that's been sewn, glued and then sewn. Still got a bit of work to do, just doodling around with these bits of thicker watercolour paper, mucking around with ideas of flowers and leaves. And that's it. So that's where I'm up with that. And update on the garage is that I've got a new load to take to the op shop. I have someone booked to come and do my front porch, and while he's here I'll get a quote for him to help me with some of the painting. And we're slowly emptying out that garage and getting rid of it. Stuff. Why do we have so much stuff? And look, honestly, I was hoping it would be done really quick. I mean, I have got a bit of a deadline, which is getting closer, which is the deadline really is when Lily comes down, is to have it all finished. So my art studio is in the garage, and I've got 2 spare rooms upstairs, so when her friend turns up from New Zealand and her flatmate turns up a week later, then between the 3 of them we've got 2 bedrooms to share, and then after that I can look at maybe putting in some company into the rooms upstairs. So that's it for this episode, and I will upload this, and then I will do my Roxy's Journal of Stitchery update. It's not going to be a big one, but anyway, it's coming up soon. So bye for now, and I'll see you in the next one.